This is the Schwinn Bonafide men and women mountain bike, and after 3 months of riding it several times a week, I've got a clear sense of what it does well and where it tops out. I picked it up to get back into regular riding for fitness and weekend trails, and I've used it on neighborhood pavement, gravel paths, and light single track. From my experience, it's a solid entry-level hardtail that can absolutely help you build confidence and cardio if your expectations match what it's made for. Key features that stand out in daily use are the 17-inch aluminum frame, the 29-inch wheels, a coil front suspension fork, 24-speed Shimano trigger shifters, and mechanical disc brakes. The frame feels sturdy without being overly harsh, and the matte black-red paint has held up better than I expected, with only minor scuffs from a few laydowns in dirt. The 29er wheels are the star for me. They roll over cracks, roots, and small rocks with a calm, stable feel that's reassuring if you're getting back into riding. The double-wall rims have stayed true so far, and the 2.25-inch knobby tires grip well on packed dirt and loose over hard sections at my local green trails. Assembly took me about an hour, and I did need a basic toolkit. Phillips screwdriver, Allen keys, 4, 5, 6 millimeters got most of it done, and a pedal wrench. Out of the box, the shifting wasn't perfect. The mid-range gear skipped under load until I dialed in cable tension and limit screws. It's normal for new cables to stretch a bit, so be ready for a quick retune after your first few rides. The mechanical disc brakes were slightly misaligned initially, causing a little rotor rub. Centering the calipers fixed it. If you're brand new, factor in a shop tune or set aside time to learn these adjustments. It's not hard, but it's essential for smooth, safe riding. On pavement and greenway paths, the Bonafide is comfortable and stable, but not fast. The knobby tires hum and add rolling resistance, and the fork has a bit of bob when you pedal hard, since there's no lockout. Personally, I'm fine with that, because I bought it to get moving and enjoy the ride, not to chase speed. Shifting with the Shimano Easy Fire triggers is easy to learn. Push with your thumb or index finger, and once tuned, the gears are predictable. In my opinion, this drivetrain is best for casual rides and hills you'd call moderate, not steep grinding climbs or hard shifting under heavy load. On mellow trails, this bike makes a lot of sense. The front suspension smooths out chatter and curb-sized bumps, taking the sting out of washboardy sections and keeping your hands fresher. The mechanical disc brakes have solid bite in dry and wet conditions and are a clear upgrade over rim brakes for this kind of riding. You do have to squeeze a bit harder than you would with hydraulic brakes, and on longer, steeper descents I could feel them fading, so I adjusted my speed earlier and braked in shorter pulses. That works fine on green trails and gentle hills. When I pushed onto chunkier single track with quick compressions and bigger roots, the fork reached its limit. It's a basic coil unit, and it's honest about that. Keep your pace in check and pick clean lines and you're good. Treat it like a trail slayer and it'll let you know it's not built for that. Fit-wise, I'm 5'10" with an average inseam, and the 17-inch frame works for me with room to adjust the saddle height. The cockpit puts me in a slightly upright position, which I find comfortable over an hour or more. Standover is borderline for shorter riders with 29-inch wheels, so if you're closer to 5'4", I'd suggest trying a similar setup in person to see how it feels. I didn't run into toe overlap, but riders with larger shoes or a shorter frame-to-wheel ratio might notice it during tight, slow turns. Comfort choices matter on this bike. The stock saddle was my first swap. It's fine for short spins, but it started to bother me at around the 40-minute mark. I switched to a mid-width gel saddle, and that made a big difference. The included nylon pedals are okay for around town, but on actual trails they feel slippery, especially when damp. I moved to metal pin platforms for better grip, and now I feel more planted on rougher stretches. The grips are serviceable. I'll likely upgrade to something with more cushioning to reduce hand fatigue. Over these 3 months, maintenance has been simple. I clean and lube the chain weekly, check the brake calipers for alignment, and give the spokes a quick pluck test. The wheels have stayed true, the headset is still quiet, and the paint is still sharp. I did a short cable tension tweak for shifting after about 60 miles, and a minor pad adjustment as the brakes wore in. Nothing out of the ordinary. Now the boundaries. This is not a bike for aggressive trails, jumps, or high-speed descents. If you're aiming for blue and black lines right away, you'll run into the limitations of the fork and brakes quickly, and you'll be wrenching more than riding. The bike is also on the heavier side at around the high 30-pound mark, so it doesn't sprint up hills. That said, the weight contributes to a planted, predictable feel on rough surfaces, and for a new or returning rider, Predictable is good. As for upgrades, you can do contact points all day, saddle, pedals, grips, maybe tires, but big-ticket upgrades like a high-end fork or wheel set may be limited by the older standards on this frame. If you already know you'll chase performance, it might make more sense to start with a higher spec model from a shop. It's perfect for fitness rides, neighborhood paths, gravel connectors, and light trails where traction and stability matter more than speed. From my experience, this bike shines as a dependable, forgiving platform to build skills and endurance. The 29-inch wheels give you confidence, the disc brakes work in most weather, and the gear range is wide enough for rolling terrain. In my opinion, the Bonafide hits its target. It gets people riding more, with enough capability to have fun on real dirt without a steep learning curve. I'd recommend this for beginners, casual riders, and anyone returning to cycling who wants one bike to handle weekday workouts and weekend park loops. If you plan to ride mostly on paved paths, consider swapping to a semi-slick tire to reduce rolling resistance. If you plan to venture onto trails, keep your expectations aligned with green-level routes and smooth, mellow sections, and the bike will feel right at home. If your goal is bigger drops, long steep descents, or technical rock gardens, you'll want a different tool. In conclusion, the Schwinn Bonafide men and women mountain bike is an honest, approachable 29er hardtail with key features that matter for new riders. A sturdy aluminum frame, big wheels that smooth the ride, easy-to-use shifters, and reliable mechanical discs. It requires a bit of setup and occasional tuning, and it benefits from a couple of practical upgrades. But it rewards you with a stable, confidence-boosting ride that makes it easy to get out the door and rack up miles. If this video helped, please subscribe to the channel and drop your questions or your own experience in the comments. Thank you for watching.